don't know, I'm a psychic medium, twin flame coach, twin flame in union, moving into the Mars retrograde, and we are here to do a divine feminine update. Now, the transit at the moment, because, working through this twin flame journey, you really have to pull all the stops. You really got to pull all the tools. So you will notice with other readers, we all innately have our own gifts and our own way in which we perceive things. The one thing I have found is astrology really navigates the matrix of what's up in the hood, and it's really handy to look at from a spiritual point of view to actually see how things are transiting and why we're relating to things in the way in which we do. And synchronistically, with the nodes and everything that I've been harping on about. Hi, Dale. I'm going to do a read for the feminines first, and because there is this yin-yang energy going on at the moment, and it's, collective energy. Aries is the first house, Pisces is the 12th. So for those of you that are very feminine in nature, you're empaths, you're moving into that psychic energy, you get your psychic downloads, you'll be tapping into the spirituality, but also the psychology of the journey. Now, the masculines are on the opposite side of the spectrum. Hi, really looking at the energy and going, oh, crap, it's on me. So, in the yin-yang effect, yes, we're balancing both sides. It's like, where's the onus on us? What do we need to do? Where is that energy? Probably zero. And the psychology surrounding certain situations. Now, on the 2nd of September, we did have the full moon in Pisces. At what degree? 10 degrees. Well, yeah, that's fun. And we're also moving to the 17th, having the new moon in Virgo. So we're starting at the beginning of the month to get a bit of an understanding as to what's coming up. And I have pulled the ruin, and I'm like, this is going to be a doozy, because number one, we currently have Juno in Libra connected to the feminines. Hi, Toronto. And so technically, we did have a retrograde effect. So divine feminine's energy, you could get the shadow from Lilith, which is in Aries. So our shadow side is fair-based frequency linking to counterpart energy, our power and power being taken away. So yes, we do, control is not power. Awareness and self-preservation is really coming up. So if you're having inner child wounds and things to that degree coming up, it's because we had Venus in Cancer. So having the South and the North node that we had, a lot of those subjects that weren't resolved in family and tribe and emotions and having our brand new beginnings, they've all come up to play. If you're a single parent and you're a twin, be it on the, and again, it doesn't have to be you're the masculine, so therefore you have the masculine energy. We both have yin and yang. Hi, Dale. So, in the themes of the things that were coming through last month, because we had Aries and Chiron retrograde, it was bringing out themes of what Mars was going to look like for us going retrograde, which is occurring on the 9th. So a lot of you are fatigued. We're having a purgatory effect of the ego. You might have been getting headaches last month, ascension symptoms, nausea, going off your food and things to that degree, because we moved into the energy of Virgo. With the Virgo, it does connect to health. It's also analytical mind, still having Venus in Cancer. So, all of those frequencies were really kicking us for 6. So trigger points and emotional purging was coming up due to things that hadn't finalized. So, we do tend to say with the nodes shifting, that chapter's over, but really astrologically with all of my clientele, the more I learn about astrology, I'm actually seeing synchronistic themes of all of what we learnt in the last 2.5 years, divine feminines. We're now having to directly apply that energy moving forward. And it's not to say we did it perfectly. And some of us maybe from a purgatory effect with the full moon in Pisces, we're like, because it's a letting go. You're definitely guided to use amethyst at the moment, tourmaline. I mean, in August, there was a lot of psychic attacks, a lot of malefic energy with Neptune retrograde. There might have been people projecting at you with Neptune and Pisces retrograde, and also Aries in Chiron retrograde. So you're getting lower frequency energies around you. As an empath, you are going to be susceptible to that. So to a degree, it taps into when you're fatigued, you have less tolerance, you might be sensing energy more so, and really in the direction in which it's coming from, perceiving the negativity and the conflict. Hi, Giggle. So yes, I do feel we're moving out of that, and it's because we're shifting the energy of control back into our fence, but some of you are struggling with that. Some of you aren't understanding how you can actually, you know, because you're 3D trying to look at the situation and come to terms with it. So from a psychic point of view, yes, we can be more susceptible to psychic attacks. You can use amethyst because we have Neptune and Pisces. Drink fluid to clear the crown chakra to allow this new energy to come in, and have some time to meditate. If everything is looking deep with conflict, looking at the news and things to that degree, it's going to become more intense as we transit through Mars retrograde. It may frighten you. It may really disturb you with some of the things you see. Healthy boundaries and assertive energy is a requirement for the yin and yang. So yes, feminines, to a degree, you may be required to use your assertive energy with the Mars frequency. That does not mean being verbal. It doesn't mean being aggressive. It can be very firm in the demeanor that you're taking of no means no. No, I'm serious. No means no. Does love and light and blessings? Yes, we're spiritual, but no means no. Now, it doesn't mean to say everything is set in stone, but if you really, look at transits. Some of us say that during a Mercury retrograde, you shouldn't sign contracts, buy technology and things to that degree because it's connected to technology. It's linked to the internet. And 9 times out of 10, it's like you buy a lemon. So logically speaking, though, if you had purchased it prior to that and you keep your receipt, if that was to happen and you're forced to purchase something during a Mercury retrograde, there can be more delays, needing to read your emails, etc. So if you have an understanding of where you stood prior to Mars retrograde, you're good in the hood. It's just understand that other people are catching up, and definitely masculines are catching up on that energy. So even if they were being very neutral and tapping into their feminine empath energy in a codependent situation, that can really amplify at the moment where they're getting aggressive. But we're not going to talk about them right now because it's the yin and yang effect of us. We will get onto theirs shortly. Now, the ruin that we've got, oh God, I knew it would be this. Okay, we're reflecting back at the need for psychic protection. The reason I'm saying that is because the ruin is in the upright, but it's facing the past. Now, this connects to black, Nor, and water. Now, we did have the full moon in Pisces, which when I did look at the astrology, some of it can link back to 2011. But again, it's ending of a cycle. Not the, good time to meditate and release. Probably not a great time to charge crystals. Charge water for a detoxifying effect, yes. Charging crystals, probably not. The new moon in Virgo, potentially. Now, as for your cognitive ability to sort things out, you're going to have to be fluid like the wind. But intuitively, the black energy coming through is facing the darkness of situations and psychology connecting to the past. It also can be you're receptively sensing a toxicity in an energy situation. You have an egoic belief, hi Eddie, or a feeling relating to it because we had Venus in Cancer, which can be tribe, families, karmics, can be on your side of the fence, a home-related dynamic. And, really not the time to go to a lawyer. Worst time you could do it because it's 11 weeks of retrograde. It would be futile. It's very messy. So it's not really the time to do things. If it had started prior to the retrograde, cool. If it didn't, it's just for any human being on the planet. It doesn't bode well. It's kind of a waste of time. Let's look at the reason this has come up. Now, anytime I'm seeing the energy of black, I'm sensing Tumbaline. I'm also sensing the need to psychically protect yourself. When you're tuning into a person, this is for any human being on the planet, especially those of you that are feminines, you are more receptible to psychic energy because you're actually starting to see signs, synchronicities, and things to that degree. So you need to understand how your intuition actually directly channels a human being. If you can't understand that, you need to tune out of it at a point just to give you a break and cleanse yourself directly after thinking on that energy. You will start embodying their frequency and you will feel their aura in your home. So if you are tuning into a very frustrating situation, person, place, thing, you must then tune out, take a breath, breathe out, and smudge stick your head. If you still feel that energy and you're trying to tune into something else, you got to let it go, right? Go and have a shower to get that energy off and smudge stick your house. Definitely with the full moon in Pisces, it's time, feminines, to get the house clean. Masculines. I love you, babe, but not right now. That's my twin. Cleanse your house. Place salt at your front door. You won't even need to, really, because the tourmaline to a degree is actually going to help you. Now, in the mundane, this ruin, as I mentioned, it is facing in the reverse position, facing the past. Something from the past you're being protective of. Now, I feel it's more to do with the fact that you guys are trying to be protective of yourself. Maybe to a degree you sense the vibration in which a person's coming from. You're feeling maybe energetically very receptive to psychic attacks. If you're not sleeping, again, it's very similar to getting stuck in the 4D. If you're having sleepless nights and ascension, my highest advice is to steer clear of excessive caffeine or things to numb the energy, i.e., illicits or alcohol, because what happens is you'll lull yourself, you'll end up having sleep paralysis. It's you tend to get psychic attacks more so. So you will get stuck in between the 5 and 8D and the 4D, and energy can come into your auric field. I did do a video on Instagram and Facebook that was speaking about it, of how to actually balance your bedroom when you're sleeping if you go to sleep, because you do tend to find at a pocket of the journey, a lot of you, what you're going through is quite a huge purgatory effect, and your ego is directly telling you there's no way the masculine's doing anything, nothing's moving. And I did see the signs and synchronicities linking to where I was 2 years ago and where you guys are at this point in time. So, some of you are very grounded, you're in detachment, you're wondering what that means. And you're thinking, what does detachment mean? What does letting go mean? It actually means just making peace with it, quite frankly. It's to the point you've thought about it so many times. It's argumentative in your mind that you understand the control that you have. You are in understanding that, yes, you've been potentially in different shapes and forms in a situation that the masculine has been in. And that is the art of actually seeing something from a viewpoint and then visually seeing how you've grown. If you can reach that point, which all of us will, it becomes more adverse, so we do. When you reach that point, you're detaching that it is out of your control. It's predestined. It's going to be. You don't need to fight. Just sit back, enjoy it. And I'm not saying you're going to enjoy it, but sit back and release. Just allow the energy to come to you because you're in the receivership mode. With this ruin, looking at the past, psychic protection, issues from the past coming up, sensing the vibration of something coming. Well, yeah, Mars is going retrograde. And we have Neptune and Pisces retrograde. Plus we have, which I dread to think what the karmic read's going to be like this month. And the only reason I tune into it is from frequency of higher and lower frequency. Those of you that are dealing with an external situation, it could be a workplace, it could be an old family, whatever that be, how that's flowing, with their energy of healing themselves. We're currently having Aries and Chiron retrograde. It will be on them to heal certain things. If people are enabling the situation and energies aren't working together, it's going to amplify with Mars retrograde. It will become more aggressive. So yes, I can understand the reason why the tourmaline and the black energy is there is to cyclically protect yourself and not enable. Now, in the mundane, in the upright, mystery, chance, and an unpredictable event. Intimate encounters. So yes, it's funny because we do tend to say during a Mars retrograde, the intimate energy of need is less. But again, if the stress factor's there, to me, it will increase it, not decrease it. So if somebody's calling you, hey, be careful of that. Protect your auric field. Check in with the point of where the person is. Is there something they need to tie up? Still be reciprocal in a sense of communicating, viewing, seeing, checking where it is. Stand your ground, not in an aggressive way. And maybe spiritually support verbally, but protect your auric field until that situation is a bit neater. It doesn't mean to say they're going to come in perfect. That's an expectation. You're both energetically having work to do together as well as you have your individual work to do. So there is a pocket of the journey where you will physically come back together to do that so that you can ascend. Now, esoteric, unfolding, fate, karma, feminine mystery. Initiator or initiatory events, incubation. So something is, it's a bit like the Tower card. Giggle and I were talking about it. It's like an explosion. It's coming to a head. Something's coming to a head. Mars retrograde. Now, reversed. It's not reversed, but it's looking in the past. So where this energy is coming from is irritational fear linked to the past. You could be tuning into it, but it's the other energy's energy. Does that make sense? Do you follow what I'm saying? That's how it works when you're psychically tuned in. You're sensing the environment of the purgatory effect of what the masculine's going through on their side of the fence. And it's also an upgrade for you because you are not allowed to enable. It is not part of your journey. Once you learn that, things flow, upgrades happen, you check your side of the fence, things flow. Irritational fear, vulnerability, ill fortune, faults and mistakes exposed. I'd say karmic energy. So let's just leave it at that. So you are tuning in, and the advice is that it is karmic related. So yes, psychically protect yourself. I'm going to pull some overall crowning energies for you guys. If you're wanting to make a booking, I strongly advise you pre-book because Mars retrograde has many conjunction aspects and many squaring aspects. This is going to be a heck of a month. You may be more inclined to have triggers. And if you do need that coaching support or guidance astrologically, it's best to book now because I will fill up fast. Now, karmic energy. Okay, what you need to know. Ooh. Okay. I do feel some of you are going to have information linking to your love connection. You also need to know that, yes, you're in the Ace of Cups energy, so that is granted, it's coming. Or it is, it's there. How do I explain it? But the conversation linking from potentially divine masculine is coming through. It might be in relation to where you are, what's going on, and what's happened, what the hold-up's been. Yeah. So having to admit a situation that was potentially very adverse, very toxic, and getting to a point of admitting what these blockages were. I don't feel intentionally this was so. I feel it was due to circumstances which have not been as yet articulated to you. And some of this information may come to you more as you reconcile and work through it with your counterpart. It can take some time because you are going to be developing the art of communication within the connection and rebuilding the trust. Past energy. Okay. Loss and doubt linking from the past due to past efforts and behaviors. This can also be, I will pull a clarifier, linking to an external situation that hasn't balanced out yet. We're ever so quiet in the house. Are we quiet? Or are we just in shock of the astrology at the moment? We're like, oh, so tired. So tired. Yeah, something was supposed to come together, but there's no room because it's gone. Whatever it is, it finalized, but it didn't finalize in an effective manner, in a healthy manner. You potentially don't have room in your life for that. So although you may have sympathy and understanding, it's not your side of the fence. Yeah, like, my name is no, my name is no. Yeah, because it's like, look, if it was going to transform, it was going to transform, and it didn't. So therefore, what does this have to do with you? Tell me something that's important here, please. Please. Lost faith in the situation. We'll leave that there at the moment. You know what the energy is. You know what the circumstance and situation is. So you're looking at it very black and white energetically, spiritually speaking. You're like, the thing is with Virgo energy coming through, you will have less tolerance for that. So we do need to be careful. We're going to have Venus moving into Leo. And again, your strength, you may come across a little bit masculine due to the Mars placement and retrograde. It's your shadow sign, technically in the collective. You guys are the empath, the Pisces energy. On the opposite spectrum of the chart, the yin and yang is Pisces and Aries. So with the Aries aspect of things, masculine is looking at their psychic downloads, and you are tapping into your masculine downloads. having to use your intuition, looking at things. But we're going to do the yin and yang of this the whole way through this 11-week transit. As I mentioned, Juno's in Libra. It's direct. We have between now and October, once Pluto goes direct, karmically speaking, for all twin flames, we are going to be assessing what the give and take is in the situation, where the health of it is. It's a renegotiation of the spiritual contract collectively. So this coming up is very karmic in nature for masculines and feminines, due to the fact that the realignment of energy is going to force our hand in certain circumstances to level up, to be ready. So if you have some synchronistic events that are happening, and suddenly you're cleaning up, you're changing things, you're doing paperwork, might be beautifying yourself, giggle, that one's for you. Trust it and just go with it. Please just, don't form a bad relationship with your intuition. Your intuition is there for you to guide you. The energy of, it's like getting your hair done, the Leo energy. I was thinking that I've lost my hairband and my hair's way too thick to put up, so it's like I'm just working with it right now. It is what it is. Hi, Louise. So if you have that innate sense of needing to be strong, needing to be very direct, it is because your shadow sign technically is, we're tapping into our assertive energy. So if you're being blunt with people, snappy with family, I'm not trying to be, but maybe a little bit of accidental Tourette's towards very frustrating situations. You're trying to be rational. You're like, look, you're testing my patience. I'm trying to be rational here, but you also are required to be rational X, Y, and Z. So you're looking at it, you're assessing it, you're trying to rise above it, you're looking at the longevity, but you're in the Knight of Swords energy. You're like, oh, okay, I'm trying to be rational here. I'm trying to, and again, swords, I don't know. Yeah, it's like you don't want to keep in this frequency. You're really choosing, a lot of you with your ascension symptoms, it's a bit like having gastro, man. It's like have gastro and then, think that you can keep that vibration up. Many of you, depending on where you are in the journey, you're very fixated on the connection in the initial stage. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I've been there. My journey has been to date 23 years and flowing. And potentially it's from birth. So what I will say is, feminines, you guys will reach a point where it will merely be survival of moving through the ascension symptoms, that you would love to be nostalgic about the reality of things. You grasp what it is. You know the connection is there. It is there for your upgrade, for your spiritual growth. Is that all it is? No. But it won't be to do with an addictive energy or a codependent energy any longer, because you're trying to survive through your ascension symptoms. So it becomes very much, is the masculine doing the work? Thanks, Star. And what can we do to cope with it while they're having their spiritual upgrade? The thing is, what you will notice is the fatigue energy and the purgatory effect through the ego that I actually explain. Once you go through that, about a week to 2 weeks later, masculines have an upgrade. So what is coming, what actually you're sending out into universe in a sense, and it's not really manifestation. It's almost like, because you've seen the past, you're moving into the future, and you're in the two energies, you're like, is this ever going to turn into an emperor? Yes, you're now having a benchmark in your life that you are no longer willing to work on situations that don't bear fruit. Some of you are still battling with that, where you're going, do you mean to say I put all of this in with no outcome? No. Nothing is for nothing, right? Try not to kind of tune into that. Everything you have, nobody can ever take from you. And at the moment, what the masculines are dealing with are healthy boundaries, owning truth, breaking paradigms down. Feminines, you guys have done that. Some of you are still working on that. So that's the blockage, okay? So you can always look at the mirror. If this is directly resonating with you on your side of the fence, that's the yin-yang side. Integrate that. Come and get a coaching session and I can tune into it. And we can look at your astrological aspects and I can tell you where your spiritual blocks are at to get the journey moving. Now, yes, the Emperor energy, this is going to assist this person. But it's also you energetically getting to a benchmark point of going, which is 8th house placement. Thanks, sweet. If we can't bridge this gap and reach this negotiation point, and we're getting crumbs, you're going to starve, right? Well, you can't starve. Your soul does that for a little bit, and then it gets you're like, look, I'm hungry, man. I got to go elsewhere. And it's not about going elsewhere. It's about the self-love. And you're really guided to the worst time to have a brand new connection would be during a Mars retrograde. It is similar to the feminine's Venus retrograde. And you can tend to get, regret. Now, for tension in connections, those of you in communication, how do I place it? Yes, if there is imbalanced situations that can cause conflict. With a normal humanistic connection, there is a likelihood, depending on where the house falls with Mars, to affect relationships collectively. So if it was broken and it was built on a foundation, whoever it is, whatever it is, if the negotiation and the spiritual ascended point of view isn't applied, it can be very risky for all relationships collectively. It's like, don't poke the fly screen, you keep going, it's going to break, it's done and dusted, gone. From a twin flame point of view, that's very karmic in nature. It's a blockage, and then you have to go back together again. You have time out, put in the naughty quarter, bang, you're having your spiritual upgrades, bang, you come back again. It just delays the inevitable. We need to challenge these energies and move through them and try and fine-tune ourselves to a point A. Check the channel the person's on. Where are they coming from? Stop jumping in romantically speaking. The heart wants what the heart wants, Selena Gomez, but you also need to be in cognitive awareness of what channel they're physically on so that you're taking responsibility for yourself and you're not going in and looking at it like it's going to be a bed of roses right away. That it's okay. Where are we coming from? What exactly are you dealing with? And that's when the energy is flowing. I'm telling you, these guides are talking like no tomorrow. I almost feel puffed out. Okay, the crowning energy connected to the karmic is this manipulation and backstabbing. Yes, and we saw the energy of the ruin. We know what it is, and maybe this is how they're feeling. The thing is, we all have our own perspective and perception. Venus in Cancer was causing us to go into ourselves as empaths and emotional beings to look at our inner child wounds, abandonment, maybe being a single parent, how that makes us feel, whose role is what you didn't have. Victim consciousness was coming up, perpetrator, all the energies to do with that were coming up in the collective. What this situation is doing is, even if you're just and fair and you have attempted to be in the past, this has caused you to need to change your approach and the way in which you're dealing with certain things over the years. Again, it's piggy in the middle energy I'm hearing with the Two of Coins, having to do too much, having to be too many people, and now it's almost like, and I kept hearing the floor is lava, dropping it like it's hot potato, only deal with what you can handle, because it is part of the enabling process and the spiritual process. People don't learn if you do their work for them. By the time we reach the new moon in Virgo, it is about spiritual work. And it's about, not expecting everything to be perfect, but maybe finding creative ways we can do that, but also allowing other individuals in your lives, mother, father, sister, brother, because you can have karmic energy links to a belief system, a blockage that occurred inside you, and you directly attract it like a magnet, Abraham Hicks. So once you disconnect that umbilical cord of it and you hand it back and bless it be, that person energetically will be triggered. You will be very neutral in it and observant. I wouldn't say you would be amused, because that's egoic. You are understanding that the pain in which that person has to go through in their egoic belief system is part of their destiny, and that it is part of universe. It rains. Sometimes we have floods. You get my gist. It's Mother Nature, allowing Mother Nature to take its course. And then this person spiritually can have that understanding of why certain things have happened. 9 times out of 10, when you have a synchronistic event happening over and over again, a person will physically come to a conclusion. Am I the common denominator? And I have even asked myself that. Because it is healthy to look at a pattern in life. And if you can't look at a pattern, we can continue to blame people, but ultimately speaking, those people will be gone, moved on, not dealing with you. Pattern reoccurs. Yes, it's something we need to look at so we can break that chain. Old chains that haven't been broken. Okay, there's jealousy connecting to what they were wanting, you know, and the fact that maybe you are more traditional in nature. Might even be to do with a connection and a celebration that is coming up for you guys. Okay. I'm seeing a conversation happening, though, and this can be to do with the balance. Can be a truce. Can be maybe some justice coming your way. You know, maybe being more free to be you. This can also be the way your counterpart is coming towards you and saying, look, this and this has been happening. This is what I have felt for you. This is what's been going on in a sense of the disputes, the things that were not shown from you, why I wasn't authentic and honest with you. Yes, I want to create the balance and a truce. I want to be free to be able to do that. But again, it's okay leveling up and actually making decisions to take their power back. Okay, what are you guided to do? There's a lot of major changes of what do we take, what don't we? And this is for you guys have been dealing with the pain, abandonment pain, the changes that this whole process has gone through alone. Because, you know, although you do have the connection and you get the psychic downloads, further into the journey, you'll just feel their energy all the time. It will be very interrupting. The changes that you've spiritually gone through have really caned you, but they have turned you into the magician, okay? You are a magician, so you really got to check yourself when a trigger's coming up and going, okay, I do have power. Let me not think on that because I'm going to accidentally manifest it. There could be some anger coming up at the moment with feminines. Anger to do with the injustice. Anger to do with the lack of movement. Anger to do with why have you done work, why haven't they? It's okay. I've been where you've been. I understand the process. Where is it? What's going on? Devil in the detail, cutting through. Actually, it could even be calling people out. Some, it's ultimatums. It's like, look, this is where I wanted to be. Maybe that was given to other people. You know, trying to be strong. This card links to Pisces, Aquarius, and Capricorn. All the transits at the moment are hitting that. Wider group energy, clarity about what the surrounding energies were. If that hasn't come to you, yes, it's coming. Clarity about where you stand in the matrix of the situation. You're going to have very sharp downloads. My mother is a karmic and I live with my grandparents. She owns. Venus and Cancer. Uranus going retrograde. What zodiac sign are you, doll? I'll have a look at your chart. Well, I got 5. I'm telling you, I need another hairband. It's driving me crazy. I was even going to cut my hair today. I was like, just cut it off. I'll do a Britney. I'll be like, bucket. And that's not the B. That's the B word, not the other one. See? I can't tie my hair up. I'm just going to cut it. Anyway, when you've got 5, tell me what zodiac sign you are, and I'll have a look at your chart. Okay, and look, house movement for a lot of twins at the moment, it's either you're upgrading, you're beautifying, you know, you're trying to get, you know, the balance. Not a Britney. I was like, really want to wait. Not quite that short, although, you know, short. I used to have it like layered. It's just too much. I need to tie it up. So, look, devil in the detail. This will be coming up on the 13th. I reckon even before, because we've got, look, shadow energy. So, pretty much give it 4 days, 5 days. Things are going to start popping off, really, okay? I'll donate it to you guys. I'll donate it to charity. There are going to be things, yes, boss, There are going to be things that are going to pop off, okay? So this is the devil in the detail. This can be toxic energies, purgatory effects, negative energies. To end and bring this karmic cycle to a close. But whatever this is, confirmation. Can be a phone call. White light, white light. Karmic cycle. Karmic end. Okay. If you have Pisces in the 10th house and 9th, well, it's funny because the 10th house, I was doing this last night. We were chatting because I've had a few clients that have house transits. When you look at it, there will always be clarification in your chart, your birth chart, right? You can look at collective energy, basically articulate it. It will be more in depth if it's your personal chart. You can actually see where Cancer is in your placement because there will be reasons why you have to move. Because you'll look at 11th house, what zodiac sign's there, which is technically Jupiter. That will be, you're having to move far away. There's also 4th house placement is home. Look at the zodiac sign inside it. And also with the 10th house, it can be relating to career. So you can look at different reasons and where the transit is, and it can effectively tell you why that transit is occurring and what's happening, so it can pre-warn you. Who would I say this year? Leos, if you guys want to move potentially subjects mid-month to next month can come up, but you're looking at situations to that degree. You can have plumbing issues. You might also be looking at wanting to be very private or adding security and things to that degree. Virgos, you guys might be getting married with a live-in partner, or a partner might be moving in, but it's going to be different. You can't do it the traditional way at the moment. But again, with Jupiter going direct, there can be changes, growth, and bits and pieces there. Libra's got Capricorn there. You guys potentially might be working from home. So, you get the gist, right? Anyhow, I'd have to look at your chart though. But yeah, with that there, with the 10th house, Cancer rising. Yeah, just for those of you that have that Cancer placement, we're still karmically dealing with the North and the South node. Even if it's a node or reverse, it's still very karmic in nature till the end of the year. But with the movement, because we had Uranus going retrograde in Taurus, it either directly started occurring last month or it started shifting moving forward. My father has a bank account. Joys. It is Mars. I'm telling you, some of us need to be more assertive. If we have to get law involved, you have to get law involved. It may take a bit of time. It can get pretty dirty and gnarly, and again, I'm not a legal advisor, but I can talk about the astrology. But yeah, with the other one, let me see. Ninth house, that's long distance. Okay, Pisces in the 10th. We had the full moon in Pisces, and it's in your 10th house of career. So are you working? Glistening star 444. Also, the 9th house is Sagittarius, which means you could be a spiritual guru. Also, it's long distance travel, but the South node is there, which means, where you were before, it can't remain the same. And I do find South node tends to transform, which is what a lot of us as Cancer, Capricorn energies are at the moment. We're going through that transformation. It's still being applied and finalized and neatened up till the end of the year. So just bear that in mind. But if you're wanting a booking, go to the link below and I can give you a coaching session. For those of you, I will come back later and I'll do more updates. Try and keep grounded. Now, I would say tourmaline to protect you. Smudge stick your house. A lot of you are going through a purgatory effect. Anchor your energy in. With the Leo energy, you'll probably start getting headaches again because we're going to have Venus and Leo. That is occurring on what day? 5th. Mercury enters Libra on the 5th, and on the 6th, we have Venus entering Leo. Oh, legalities. Heck. Balance, judgment. Yeah, not a great time to do anything legal. It's not, but if you have to, you have to, right? It's predestined. We'll have to look at your aspects in the chart. From a luck point of view, Taurus, your luck is going to come towards the end of the month. Gemini, yours at home will come towards the end of the month. Cancer, yours in your communication and information sent to you. Information can be coming through. Aries, your luck is coming from children and family. Leo, yours is coming from your resources, but more towards the end of the month. Virgo, yours is coming from your psychology. Keep your wits about you. Devil in the detail. Your health could be changing, but you could get more psychic downloads. You could even heal and have the strength mentally to achieve things. More towards the end of the month. Libra, your hopes, dreams, aspirations are highlighted, but also your psychic downloads will be quite large. And getting into the psychology of things. So much for my custody case. It doesn't mean it's terrible. It just means that if it had already started, it bodes better. If you can come to the situation less aggressive, yes, it will work. So it's not saying don't. It's just merely saying the way in which you approach it needs to be very, very cognitive in nature and non-aggressive. Assertive, non-aggressive. Yeah. Oh, come on, love. You know we're awesome. Yeah. Just keep it consistent. Ask for that. Ask your guides to assist you. Amethyst this month, guys. Tourmaline. And do some chakra cleansing. You know, don't hit all of them at once because you'll get fatigued. It'll really knock you for 6. Pick up where it's coming from. You're getting triggered to do with children, family, inner childhood wounds. Do the yellow chakra. Fear-based frequency aggression. We're going to have that all month because we're tuning into masculines and having to assert ourselves. Balance the orange chakra. Their mum is refusing to sign the paper. Yeah. Just allow it to flow naturally. It's an 11-week transit with Mars. It will plateau out. We had Venus in Cancer. You might find as it moves and Venus moves over to Leo, it's going to be different, okay? Yeah, just trust the process stuff. Trust it. Everything that happens is meant to be. Because we had Venus in Cancer, it was bringing up last month and prior. The transit shifted in May, but I'm seeing karmic themes connected to it, that unresolved issues coming up. And so the quality system is between now and the end of the year for us to address those. And then it'll be more Sagittarius, Gemini energy. Trust. If anyone needs a booking, the link is below. I hope this has helped. If you feel this relates and it resonates for another twin, feel free to, send it through to somebody that you know maybe is a twin. And if you need any coaching sessions, the link is below. And I can tune into yours and your twin flames astrology and tell you what's coming up. Love and light.